I'd like to say something that I prepared tonight. Hello? How about that ride in? I guess that's why they call it the quad crappies. Ha ha ha. You guys might not know this, but I consider myself a bit of a loner. I tend to think of myself and Ryan as a two-man wolf pack. But when my brother brought Maggie home, I knew she was one of my own, and our pack, it grew by one. So there were three of us in the wolf pack. I was alone with Ryan first in the pack, and then Maggie joined in later. And now, for the first time, when Ryan and Maggie introduced the families to each other, I think, wait a second, could it be? And now I know for sure. We added a whole family of wolves to the wolf pack. A new family of us wolves running around the Mississippi Valley together in Rock Island looking for whiteys and craft beer. So tonight, I make a toast. Sorry to be anticlimactic and boring, Maggie and Ryan, but I am not gonna cut my hand with a knife to make this whole Wolfpack brother thing official. Sorry to anyone who did not understand the movie reference that was just made, but I thought it was appropriate in keeping with the spirit and theme of tonight. First off, I'm Sam Luton's, Ryan's little brother, and I wanted to say thanks, Maggie and Ryan. Ryan, I hope you're kind of surprised by this. And thanks to everyone there tonight sharing this special day with my brother and new sister-in-law. The situation isn't ideal. I wish I could be there more than anything with you guys celebrating the marriage of two pretty awesome, unique people. When Ryan called me on Friday night asking if I was going to still be giving a best man speech, a sense of relief came over me. I know Ryan chose two best men for the reason of me possibly not being able to make it, which unfortunately became the case. At that time, the future was still a little bit uncertain. Things were still being worked out. But it made me extremely happy knowing Ryan still wanted me to say something. Anyway, I met Ryan in July of 1995. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Personally, don't remember too much from that time. Ryan might, I don't know. For me, the memories start about age 6 when I can remember waking up on Saturday morning playing Nintendo 64 with Ryan and beating him in Mario Kart. Didn't make him too happy. He didn't want to be beat by his little brother. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed kicking his butt, but Ryan, not so much. From there, the rest is kind of history. Ryan was the brother I got closest to because Chris was already grown and off in the adult world doing his own thing. Naturally, Ryan became my first best friend, and that's something I will forever be thankful for. I'm not quite sure if he wanted me there with him all the time, cramping his style, but my parents were busy and so was everyone else, and Ryan got stuck with me whether he liked it or not. I couldn't be more thankful for that, so thank you, Mom and Dad, for pawning me off on Ryan. Worked out in my favor. Ryan is one of the most trustworthy, caring, and loving, selfless people. The amount of words I could use to describe Ryan Luton's could go on forever. One really sticks out to me, though, and that's his sense of humor. He has a laugh and a smile that's contagious. I'm not just talking little ha-ha chuckles here and there. I am talking bold belly laughs straight from the tummy where he is just crackling, and it is amazing. There would be times when we were laughing together so hard, we were literally crying, tears rolling down my face, and probably Ryan's. And I know I could barely breathe, and Ryan was the same way. We would watch movies or TV shows together for hours on end, binge watching, playing video games, going for car rides, with really nowhere to go. But just because we were bored and wanted to spend time together, we did it. At that time, we weren't worried about anything else. What matters was Brian and I being together in that moment. And There's never been a dull moment with Ryan, I think. It's always something, whether we're fighting something. I don't know. I can't recall any. High school rolled around and nothing really changed. If anything, we got closer. It's just something that never changed. I can still remember to this day when I played my first basketball game of senior year. On senior night, after being sidelined with an injury for the majority of the season, Ryan was there to see it because he knew how much it meant to me. Now, speaking of that season-ending injury, we won't go into specifics because, well, it's very embarrassing on my part. If you would like to know, ask Ryan or a member of my immediate family, and I'm sure they would be happy to inform you. But Ryan was the first person I talked to about said situation, because I couldn't get a hold of my parents, and I was freaking out, but he calmed me down and kind of made things easier because his experience being older, it helped. But it made things a lot easier, and because I thought my parents were going to crucify me. I thought, oh man, this is it. Never gonna get to leave my room. I'm gonna live on bread and water. I'm screwed. I wrote it off. In fact, the first thing he said to me, though, was, "Are you all right? And where are you?" I was fine. I was 45 minutes away, though. But Ryan dropped what he was doing. I think he was with his friends. He dropped what he was doing, and he drove 45 minutes away out of his way to make sure everything was all right, make sure I was all right, and stayed with me until my parents got there. He was actually the one who broke the news to my parents about what had happened. So thank you for that, Ryan. It was probably one of the worst nights of my short life so far, but Ryan was the first person there for me. He made me feel a lot better. And he just comforted me and said everything was going to be okay. If that doesn't tell you what kind of brother Ryan is, sticking up for me in that kind of situation, I don't know what else to say. There really isn't much left to be said, as a matter of fact. Sure, we had our fair share of fights. Broken windows and doors, sorry, Mom and Dad. But what brothers don't? If anything, those made us closer. So thank you, Ryan, for being there for me all the time, even when you think it didn't mean anything. It meant a lot to me because you showed me what true brotherly love is, and you taught me a lot about life. Like I said, you taught me a lot of life lessons just because of you being the person who was closest in age to me and the life experience you had at that point in comparison to me. But those memories I will cherish forever, and I will never forget them, Ryan. Then enter Maggie. From what my inside sources tell me, Maggie wasn't too fond of Ryan when they first met through their mutual friend. As a matter of fact, I was informed that they told Ryan that Maggie was taken because she wanted to be left alone and not deal with Ryan. Ryan has a very strong personality, and I'm sure many of you know that. But as fate would have it, here we are today. Ryan is just one of those people who grows on you the more time you spend with him, and I think Maggie is the perfect example. She's the bottom line evidence of that. Maggie, you are one of the sweetest, most down-to-earth people I have gotten the pleasure of meeting, and I thank you for that, and I cannot see my brother spending his forever with anyone else. When Ryan told me that he was going to bring his girlfriend to meet the family for the first time, I really wasn't quite sure what to expect. My first thought was, oh Lord, please help this poor girl. She's going to run away, she's going to be scared, and Ryan is going to be pissed. I was pleasantly surprised, though. Maggie, she bonded and meshed with our family over time. That's not the easiest thing to do in the world. There's always a fear factor in meeting your significant other's family for the first time, but I was very impressed. She was quiet at first, but it didn't take long for her to break out of her shell. It was fun to see. It didn't take me long to realize that Maggie was the one for Ryan. They're serious when they need to be. They can joke and laugh for hours on end. When the other person is having a bad day, they know they can count on the other to pick them up and tell them everything's going to be okay at the end of the day, because it will be. It's really special when you see that first-hand bond that they share and how they epitomize the meaning of true love. And I think there's a lot to be learned from them and their relationship. But the bottom line is, knowing your brother is marrying a woman like Maggie, it's very comforting, and it makes me feel happy for them and for Ryan. He's a very lucky guy. Maggie, I'm sure you look absolutely beautiful today, and I hope that you guys have the greatest time of your lives tonight. I hope it's a day you never forget. But Maggie, it's your turn now to make those a lifetime full of memories with my brother that I got to experience. It's your turn now, and I promise they won't disappoint. I always have, and I always will cherish the memories with Ryan, and I'm sure you will be the same way. But I wish you guys a future of love, happiness, health, and devotion to one another. So here's to Mr. and Mrs. Lutens and their new forever. I love you guys. I wish I could be there. I love you.